Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And this time I'll be playing Tormentum Dark Sorrow Blind. I know nothing about this game and I bought it. It was an impulse purchase pretty much because I saw it at GOG and I thought the aesthetics, the graphics look kind of interesting. The overall style of it seemed rather dark and twisted, and I am a fan of such designs. So I know it's an adventure game, and while I'm not I'm still very much a newcomer to the genre of the adventure games, I am sort of warming. I am warming up. What's the correct? Man, I'm really tired. I can't find my words. But basically, I'm starting to sort of find my footing as far as adventure games go, and I rather enjoy some of them. In fact, for example, Sanitarium, the first classic point-and-click adventure game that I played, was pretty much borderline brilliant is a strong word, but it was pretty great. I really liked it. I'm eager to discover more of them, but even if this game turns out to be bad, at least I'll have some nice pictures to look at, because as I said, pretty much the only reason I bought it was because the graphics seemed interesting. So without further ado, let me start a new game. Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. Immanuel Kant. Well, I will have something to say about that already. Oh, is the game waiting for my input? I guess so. I guess I must click to continue, but in a way I guess it's good that it stopped, because I already have something to say. Like, I'm borderline a fan of maybe not of Kant himself, but definitely of Kantian ethics. Deontology speaks to me, like, on a personal level, and this, what you see here, is one of the most famous formulations of what's called the categorical imperative in deontology. It is like a guiding maxim. It was a guiding maxim for Kant when he designed his moral philosophy of deontology. The other formulation is something along the lines of, and by the other formulation of the categorical imperative is something along the lines of, act always in accordance with such a rule that you could also wish to be applied as a universal law. Basically, the point of deontology is that Kant believed that actions, deeds, have an inherent moral value, and that intentions or consequences are meaningless, because whether a deed is good or not is inherent in the deed itself. To explain it in the simplest terms, it's like a total inversion of that saying that the end justifies the means. For Kant would vehemently disagree with that, and in fact he would say something totally opposite. He would say that for your end to not be solid, as it were, your means must remain pure. You cannot accomplish good by doing things that are inherently bad, basically. And I don't know yet whether to treat this the usage of this quotation as something to guide me through the game, or whether it's going to be a contestation of what Kant claimed about morality. But you could say I'm already kind of intrigued. As I said, I recognize the inherent difficulties with the ontology and the inherent allure of for example, utilitarianism. But to be honest, utilitarianism, it disgusts me. The logical consequences of it are disturbing, and I am strangely moved by this idea that we should always strive to do the right thing, regardless. That we should not. There are certain things that we should never do, even if we think they could accomplish a good end. Even if we think we have a noble goal, there are things that if we do them, as I said, Kant would probably agree with phrasing it in a way that our means might actually sully our goal if they are wrong. And I find that moving. I find that sort of intellectually and emotionally resonating with me. But obviously there are tons of problems with deontology. One of the most famous formulations is, for example, this idea of like a lawful Nazi who discovered he himself is Jewish and then denounced himself, and you could frame that as entirely moral within the categorical imperative, because he would be like, oh yes, all Jews are evil or something, and I do agree that should be a universal law, and I apply that to myself as well. Like, there is no contradiction, seemingly, in what that person would be doing. So theoretically it would fulfill the formulation of the categorical imperative. And also there is this whole point about how Kant believed that lying is because, as I said, actions in deontology have an inherent moral value. So for example, he believed that lying is always wrong. So you cannot accomplish good by lying, and if you lie, it is always wrong to do so. But obviously it leads to some pretty counterintuitive and horrible situations if you apply it as a thought experiment, because theoretically, coming back to the Nazis of all people, if you were to try to apply that in reality, for example, during World War II, somebody, the Nazi soldiers came to your door and asked if you were harboring Jews or if you know if anyone has, and theoretically, like in a strict sense, according to Kant, it would be wrong to lie to them, even to save somebody's life. Like, at best, I guess you could say nothing, but obviously that doesn't work, because if you would say nothing, that's an implicit, that's immediately suspicious. That's an implicit admission of guilt, basically. So that would lead to the death of those people, and probably yourself as well, regardless. But according to deontology, strictly speaking, lying would still be wrong, even if it saved somebody's life. So as I said, I realized, reality, to be honest, is complex enough that any kind of moral philosophy that supposes it has the answer, like the universal answer to what you should do in any given situation, is sure to struggle in many cases. And most of us don't really think that way. We don't, we judge things on a case-by-case basis, and I understand that, and to a degree, that's maybe even sensible, because, as I said, with any of those moral philosophies, deontology included, you can arrive at some pretty horrible conclusions by sticking to them with like a religious fervor. But I'm just saying that, at first glance, sort of emotionally speaking, even more so than logically, deontology resonates with me, and this idea of of always doing the right thing, and of always making sure that we conduct ourselves in such a manner that what we strive for is what's the word? Is made more noble by the fact that we use the correct means to achieve that, rather than trying to achieve something good but doing it by such means that by the end you wonder whether you actually could achieve good by doing some horrible stuff along the way, and justifying it with the old adage of the end justifying the means. But that's enough of me babbling about Kant. I'm sure if this game, using this quotation as a motto at the beginning, is any indication, I'm sure there will be more chances for that during the game itself. Whether it will follow the ideas that Kant had on morality, or whether it's going to be a subversion or a polemic. But regardless, let me actually continue. First there was darkness, then I slowly opened my eyes. I felt a strong wind, and the floor below felt like it was moving. I realized then that I was not on the ground. I was high above the clouds, locked like an animal in a metal cage, attached to a flying machine. Next to me was another cage, with another prisoner inside. Hello, stranger. I see they didn't just come for me. Okay, so I am actually the hooded figure, and I am talking to what basically amounts to a Skaven. They came to my house at night and locked me in this cage. I worry about my family. They are out there all by themselves. They come when the sky begins to cry fiery tears. They are said to take only those marked by evil. They used their arch airships to transport them to their castle, and nobody returns from there. They arrived in our land a long time ago. It's ironic that our ancestors helped them to raise their castle here. Nobody in their worst nightmares could have foreseen their plans. I don't deserve this. I am not evil. I have always led the life of a simple hunter, doing what I could do to feed my family. Wait, I feel the machine descending. We'll reach the castle soon. My head swirls with questions concerning my current situation. Was being here some kind of a punishment? What did they want from me? Contrary to my companion, I don't remember anything. My mind can only recall the image of a strange sculpture atop a mountain. In my mind I can see stone hands reaching towards the sky. Between them stands a statue of a woman. I do not know what this place was, but subconsciously I feel like I must find it. First though, I had to get out of this terrifying place. The airship lands in a courtyard inside the castle. Guards in horned helmets drag me to a cell inside a castle tower. After a while, one of them returns and speaks to me. Foul being, soon you will suffer the pain of torture. This place will purge you of all evil hatched within your bowels. As long as clay is being formed in the hands of the potter, anything is possible. we can still reform your corrupt soul in spite of the deeds that have shaped your past. Your fate is not yet sealed. Remember, the dagger of destiny has two edges. On one side there is torture, and on the other is yourself. Wait a second. Is that a paraphrase from The Witcher? Because there's a very famous quote from The Witcher about how the sword of destiny has two edges. One of them is death, and the other is you. So basically that would align with this, right? The dagger is the sword. It has two edges. One is torture, which equals death, and the other is you. That's interesting. You may think nothing depends on you, but it is you and your actions alone on which everything depends. Soon we will meet again in the torture chamber. Okay, so I guess there is implied an element of moral choice in this game. He said that I might still be redeemed from whatever evil I supposedly committed in the past. Although I still do not know, what kind of strategy should I take while making those choices. If the quotation by Kant at the beginning was supposed to be a clue, and if so, should I understand it that I should follow a deontological approach to morality? So basically, make sure, that I never use unjust means to accomplish even the most noblest of goals, or whether I should take that as something to be challenged. That remains to be seen. In the end, I guess I will do exactly what I said, what I talked about at the very beginning, which is eventually judge every case, on a case-by-case basis, rather than try to stick to any arbitrary rule. But I will, whenever a choice comes, I will just discuss it and do whatever feels more natural to me, I guess. Or unless the game gives me some very strong clue about what kind of action it expects from me. But let's explore my cell. There is a glowing eye in that skeleton over here. I don't see anything useful on him, but the eye has fallen into the sewer over here, so we will check it in a moment. I hope I won't meet a similar fate. I don't see anything useful on him. Scratches on a wall. Apparently someone counted the days they spent in this cell. Could it be that one of my predecessors tried to leave me some kind of a message? Already noted. Okay, so it's a diagram of some cages. And it is written down in my journal. That's great, because otherwise I would probably need to write it down myself. The sky is shedding tears of fire. This bird hid himself here from the meteor storm. The raven arrived with something in its beak. It's a small metal plate of some sorts. Rusty plate. Okay. I don't think I'll learn anything from him. I've picked up the skeleton's forearm. Who knows? It might come in useful. Okay. Let's check this. I can't reach it. I need something long to get to it. Okay, I have just such a thing. I fish out a crystal eye. It emits a red light. Okay. There's some kind of a mechanism in the middle of the bars. It appears to be the reverse side of a lock. Okay. The cover is screwed tight. I can't open it. I need some kind of a tool to unscrew this. Okay, let's use this. Okay, so I presume from this diagram, because this is already moving and this is not, and the rest of the gears are unattached, so I presume I need to make this move by putting the gears in correct spots. Okay, that's not going to work. It worked. It was a rather primitive mechanism after all. The bars have risen. Here's my first step to freedom. Okay. What is it? I found a piece of a mirror. Okay. The bars look very solid. Let's continue on to the next screen. Oh, cold water is dripping from the hole in the ceiling. It's too high to reach. Okay, let's continue. I should find all the missing pieces of the mirror. I feel it's somehow linked to the angel statue. Eyes so I can see, heart so I can feel, light to dispel the darkness. The stone angel will show you the way if you meet these three conditions. I do have the eye already. I found a piece of a mirror, okay. Do the others have something to say? Eyes so I can see, heart so I can feel, light to dispel the darkness. Okay, so they all say the same thing. Let's talk to the angel itself. Oh, it's a place for the heart, I guess. The place for the heart is empty. Okay, I guess I will be reflecting some light, maybe? Eventually. Candles, can I light them? An extinguished candle. This candle is already lit. What's that? The candles light the angel statue. They said about, yeah, light to dispel the darkness. Okay, so I have this. And I have the eye, right? Eye so I can see. Yeah, but where do I put the eye? Ah, over here. Okay, but I need another one. Okay, let's explore more to the right here, I guess. I can see a shiny object at the bottom of the well. If only I could raise the water level. Okay, I will think about it. And here's the heart. I found a stone heart. Someone clearly made an effort to hide it. And there was a diagram of the cages, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm supposed to do something with the fifth because it's marked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those two are supposed to be level. Huh, wait. The eyes have lighted for a second. What does that mean? If only I could raise the water level. I guess I did a little bit. There's another piece of the mirror here. This is supposed to be like a little bit higher than... no, the water was already higher than this. So whatever I did it wrong. It's supposed to be... like this is supposed to be higher. So this is roughly correct. And then those two are supposed to be on level, which is, I guess, roughly correct. I don't think I can make it more correct. Especially because they alternate. This is supposed to be like on the same-ish level, I guess? Okay, let's for now insert the heart over here. The stone heart has started to pulse with red light. And do I have all of the pieces of the mirror? I do. So theoretically, out of all of those, unless this is like the ground level, so it shows this one up high, this one low. Okay, so I have the second eye. And now... not this. The wing appears to be a part of some larger mechanism. It won't budge. Let's insert the eye first. The skull's eye socket is empty. The crystal eyes have sunk into the skull's eye sockets. What am I trying to do here? Like... okay, a pentagram, I guess. The beams form a symbol. The something begins to shake. Okay, and what's up with that? I have to find the missing part. Isn't it this? It fits. The piece of metal was part of this mechanism. What does this mechanism do? And what do I do? Do I need to make it fit together? I think this does fit together. This. Okay, the metal pieces interlock. The outer door is doing something. Can I change the speed of the text, maybe? Doesn't look like it. I guess I must be very tired, because I shouldn't have problems with freaking reading text, you know, quick enough. But it's rather late in the day, and I had a really rough day at work. Generally, recently, I'm very tired overall, because there's a lot happening for me at the moment. But regardless, I feel like this first episode has been long enough, so I'm going to pause it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!